Hi there, Creative Tartanites. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you are all well, and if you're in the same kind of season as I am, I hope you're all keeping very warm, because I have to say it is rather cold today. Hi there, Mona. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. It is a pleasure as always. So, today, let me tell you what we're going to do. I thought I would do some demonstrations, maybe give hints and tips, and really talk around journaling, what journaling is, the different types of journaling that we've got, and all sorts of journals that we can use and make. The other thing that I am doing is I've got some happy mail. Ta-da! Woohoo! I'd gone down to pick up a package. I ordered some double-sided photograph paper, photo paper, and I had the thought, oh, I'm in the post office anyway, I might as well ask to see if there's anything in my PO box. And lo and behold, I have 2 letters. So the first one is from the off-kilter crafter Ian, and the other one that I'm covering up the address of is from Fancy Nancy. So, oh, hello, Madonna. Hi there. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be talking all things journaling today, and I'm hoping to do some demonstrations and things and give hints and tips. One of my creative Tartanites, who also happens to be my daughter, is really interested in starting using her journal and really wants to know about how to go about doing this. So that's the plan. So I've got my 2 pieces of happy mail here, and please forgive the messiness. I'm afraid I'm rarely a absolutely clean desk person. I've usually got something kicking about on my desks, unfortunately. So I'm not going to pop the camera down just yet, because I'm wanting to hide addresses and things. So I think what I might do is I will start off with Nancy's. I will open it and take the contents out, and then I'll put the camera down. Hi, Nikki. Hi. So bear with me while I open the letter, because as I said, I really don't want to be showing off somebody's address publicly. Right. Okay, now I'm just going to sort the camera. So Mona even, I think maybe Madonna as well, but whoever gets seasick or camera sick or nauseous when the camera moves, close your eyes now. Still moving. Hold on a sec. There we go. I think that should give us some room. Right, you can open your eyes now. Hi, Nancy. Oh, Nancy, I've just opened your happy mail. I've opened it off camera, but I was still live when I opened it. I just didn't want to show your address, so I've taken it out, and it's here. I'm excited. I'm excited to share it. And Wise, there we go. That's better. The camera keeps going out of focus for some reason. So Fancy Nancy is one of the Art Shepherd design team members. She is an awesome artist. She's also a creative tartanite, for which I am most gratefully grateful for. Okay, that's I'm grateful that she's in the creative tartanite tribe, because she really is an awesome artist. She's also a very warm-hearted and kind person as well. I believe that she is Nikki's best friend, and I see Nikki has said she's also my crafty BFF. So yes, she is many things to many people by the sounds of it, and a very special lady indeed. So I don't know if what you heard, Nancy, but I had been down at the post office getting a different package, because I hadn't been in yesterday when the post office tried to deliver something. So they had left a card to say that I was to go and collect it. So when I went to collect it, I thought, well, I'm there anyway, so I'll ask if there's anything in my PO box. And lo and behold, I had 2 letters, one from you, Nancy, and the other one from Ian, the off-kilter crafter, who is also a member of the Art Sherpa design team and another awesome creator. So, oh, I feel like there should be a drum roll. I've already seen what is actually on the other side of this, but I'm excited to share it. So are you ready? 1, 2, 3, ta-da! Now, 1, 2, 3, ta-da! Now, is that not just lovely? It says, shut up and colour. Is that not just brilliant? I love it. Now, Nancy, I know Nancy has used my papers because this is one of my papers at the background here. I'm really, I love this. I'm just going to pop it off the camera just for now, just to make sure that there's nothing else personal. I'm just reading it. Now, Nancy's obviously in the room. Is it okay if I share what's in the card? Is that all right? I'll just give Nancy a couple of seconds to respond. This is a beautiful card. I said so at the time when she shared it in group. It's lovely. It really is. Oh, so it is. Yes, the dress is my paper as well. Well reminded. Well reminded. God, you know, I didn't even notice that it was. I mean, I did in the photograph. I did when you showed it. But just looking at it, because it's done up as something else, it didn't automatically respond to me. So yes, I can share what's in here. So basically, she's just said that thank you for the challenge, that she had a blast making the card with my papers, and thought that she would share it with me to say hello and thank you for being your bubbly self. Love always, Fancy Nancy. So thank you so very much. I really appreciate the card. This is lovely. I will have to find somewhere nice to pop it. I probably should get myself like one of those clip-on notice boards, so I can just like dangle cards and clip things on. Rather, I have a pin board, but I don't like sticking things in the pin board because you've got to put holes in them. It is lovely, isn't it, Mona? Absolutely. Thrilled to bits with that. So I shall leave that there. And we have the off-kilter crafter Ian. Again, as I said, he's another Art Sherpa design team member, and this washi tape is so cool. I wonder if I could save it. Will it allow me to lift it up, do you think? Oh no, it's not. I'll maybe try and save it later. I will open it like a proper letter. There we go. Could probably do with one of those letter openers, eh? So how is everybody today? How are you all this morning in the States? Because in the States it will be morning time. Oh, another card. Oh, I watched him make these. This is cool. Oh, wow. I've got an off-kilter crafter sticker. Yay! How cool is that? That is awesome. Fantastic. Oh, I love my cards. So a big shout out to Ian and to Nancy. Mona, do you have their channels to be able to share? Do you want to grab Nancy's and I will grab Ian's and we will share, because I think we really need to share the love. So let's share the love. I'll grab Ian's. And you grab Nancy's and we'll post them in the chat. There we go. There we go. So, yes, Sherpa did do a good job picking her team. The team is awesome. So go and give Nancy and Ian some love. If you're watching on the replay and you don't know who they are, please go and check them out. They're pretty cool people. Ian does a lot more crafting, although he has turned his hand at some artwork. He has done some painting along with the art Sherpa in her studio, no less. So if you don't know them, please go and show them some love. So that was exciting. That was really cool. Today, I'm talking journals. I'm talking different journals, what journals actually are. And there are many different types of journals. I'm just going to check and see what the chat is saying just before I go on any further. So Gail says, pretty good today. Just after 9 here. Fantastic. Yes, it is cute that he's got his own stickers. Absolutely. I'll have to find somewhere suitable to put that, because that's I like that. I like that indeed. Then I've got my stickers too, but they're not as cool as having Ian on his. So, I really need to stop saying so. I wonder how Ian's craft room makeover is coming along. Yes, I wonder too. Last I heard, it was empty, and his last live was so echoey. It was really funny. So yeah, Mona has just said that she started bullet journaling this year. Made it to August, but then ran into the sand. Okay. And Gail is saying, "No, I didn't know you had stickers." Yes, I do indeed. I do indeed have stickers. Just not quite as cool as Ian's. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So I guess it's that age-old question of where to start. There are many different types of journals, and they are very personal to the person. Now, there are things like Hobonichi, for example, that people will use as a journal. It's a kind of a catch everything, a Hobonichi. Now this is my A6 size. This is my new one for next year. I actually have an A5 size at the moment, but I've not got that with me. It's down in my handbag, and it's actually what I use for my personal things, so I'm not going to share the paper. This is actually one of my paintings. I've printed it out on cardstock on that size and stuck it in. I'm actually toying with the idea of making this size available for people to be able to use it in this manner. So as I said, this is my painting. Let me just grab it and pull it out. It's just a postcard. It's just an A6 postcard. It is, I can't remember what the exact dimensions. It's an A6 postcard, so it's it's just a little under 6. It's not quite 6. So it's 4 inches by 5 3/4, I think that is. Hi, Surfing. Hi there. Thanks for joining me. Welcome. I'm just sticking this back in. As I said, I'm thinking of making these postcards available for sale in my Etsy store. Obviously, they can be used as postcards, or they can be used to decorate things if you want to. So this is my Hobonichi. This is for next year. This is for 2019. And it's essentially a diary, but it's so much more than a diary. We have, there's obviously the calendar months. Then there is, now, they've changed it. They have actually changed it this year. They used to have at the beginning the calendar month, and then the weeks, and then the days, but they've taken out the weeks. Ooh, that's cheeky. So they haven't got the weeks, unless it was only the A5s that had the weeks. But no, I'm pretty sure my very first one had. I can't say for. I'll shut up in case I'm wrong, because I can't say 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure that my original one, the very first one I had 2 years ago, had it in weeks, and then it was the days. So I think they've changed it slightly. This size is the only one that comes in English, and they have like quotes and things at the bottom. And many people will use these as journals. So they will do watercolor in it. It's Timoni River paper that's in it, really thin paper. So very little bleeds through. That you usually get ghosting, because it's so thin, but it doesn't tend to bleed through. So it's really good for inks and things. So I have a fountain pen, for example. Really like using my fountain pen in my Hobonichi, and so it can get used for actually writing things in, as if you're journaling, just ordinary writing, etc. etc. So that is one form of journaling. This is, as I said, it's a kind of catch-all. Some people will do kind of bullet style journaling in these Hobonichis because of the grids. Others will use, as I said, watercolors. Others will use pencils. They'll put washi tape, stickers. I mean, there's some of the stickers that I have. I bought to use, and I never actually got around to using them. So these are also considered journals. It just really depends on how you use them. Will determine whether it's just an ordinary journal or a creative journal, or in fact it really is down to you whether you consider it to be any kind of journal. Now, just reading the messages. Nikki says, I love working on that size. Nikki introduced me to ATCs on that size. Oh, okay. So 4x6, I take it you're meaning. So this is one form of journal. Another form of journal is really just a lined notebook. Now, I don't know that I'm going to share any of my lined notebooks because I suspect. Oh no, I can show you this side. There, I can show you this side. This was my journal that I bought. Just an ordinary notebook. I've pretty much sort of written in it as it's a normal journal. Just ranting, just throwing my thoughts down, just scribbling down what I'm thinking at the time that I'm writing. What I also then did is I turned it upside down and started from the back. So I did things like this is this is a list for my Holland adventure. Now this is when I went on holiday to Holland. I did a cycling holiday over there. So this is actually a list of everything that I was taking with me. So we took a tent, sleeping bag, I took my Kindle, money belt, waterproof jacket, blah blah, flip flops, PJs. You know, this was my list for going. And that's another list again. So that's another form of journal. It's note keeping, it's memory keeping, it's chucking your thoughts down on paper. So that's a different form of journaling again. Then we come to art journaling. Now, art journaling, again, there's no right or wrong. There is so many different types of art journals around. Yes, they are pretty covers, isn't it? I loved that notebook, and it didn't cost me that much. I think I got it in one of my local supermarkets. And so art journals are what you make them to be. So I've got so many different types of art journals. Now I've shown some of my art journals in previous videos, but not everybody has seen my previous videos. So if you've seen these ones, please forgive me, but I'm going to show them. Now I have bigger ones as well, so all sorts of different sizes. So this was my very, very, very first art journal. I'd never art journaled before, and this was my very first one. And I was following along with prompts. Now, is that the right way round? Yes, it's the right way round. This particular journal, it is rather big, so I apologise, but this particular journal, the elastic broke on it. But so this is my very first journal, so forgive the artwork because it's not. This is when I very first started getting back into painting. So Mona's saying that she loves art journals, and Gail, all I have is one art journal and a scrap journal. I guess that's what you'd call it. It's a cut and paste journal. Yeah, I mean, I think with, oh, hang on. there we go. I think with mixed media, I think the lines have all blurred. I don't think that there's, unless you're a purist, and you know an art journal is X, Y, and Z to you. Really, art is creative, and so therefore it's subjective. You know, it's everybody's thoughts about what it actually is. So this was my very, very, very first art journaling page. Now you can possibly see that there's some papers that have been stuck down. I've then gone over with different paints, and that is some acrylic inks, I think, possibly inks, and then kind of sort of let to drip and blown about the place and things. And there's a little bit of oh, I forget the word now. Pardon me. Nikki's saying that she's got about 5. One is heavy watercolor, light watercolor, mixed media, and a moleskin. Different papers for different medias. Yes, that's what I like. And this is a tiny fraction of the art journals that I've got. If I'm totally honest, I've got a few more elsewhere. But I think this covers the kind of wide range of different types of papers that you get. This one is the Dilutions art journal, and it's essentially it's cardstock that's in here. So these are all the different prompts. This one, there's some stenciling, there's some paint and various other different things. I just let loose and was just playing about with the paints. This was one of my favorite. This was the very first one that I loved. This one is Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. And this was the first time that I actually dared to draw something. I hadn't drawn, oh, good grief, I hadn't drawn since I was like about 18, 19. And so it was a good, 20 years ago. And this was the first time I decided to draw something. So I'll not go through all the pages, but there's another one where there's some collaging. There's some collaging with flowers and some drawing over the top of it. There's more collaging to do the mushrooms, and these are stamping. These I stamped with dilution inks, and when I then went over with gesso, they kind of blurred a little, which is fine. But at that point, I didn't know that they did that, and that was the first of me learning that they did that. So, you can see that there's all sorts of different ways of journaling. There are some pages I've got things written in, so nothing can drag you down when you have a balloon. And this was one of my favorite ones, because this was a complete let go. This was I actually wrote the poem that's here. And this was just really chucking paint and inks, and there's some dilution inks. That's why I've got the bright pink and the yellow, and there's some I can't even remember what it's called now, but I've got some here. Let me see. There we are. Sparkle medium. So I had different colours of this, and I did it through a stencil. So that's what this is. Here and here. There's some doodling. There's all sorts in here. And it says, just go with the flow, get ink, paint, water, and throw. I am 5 again, don't you know? Go on, have a go. Okay, so I'm missing some messages. Let me just check. Mona's saying love the fairy. Thank you. Nikki's saying Gail, my journals have art and play in them. Some pages are just me fooling around with my supplies. And yeah, that's what happens with my pages sometimes, Nikki, as well. Beth says, so all the notebooks I have with doodles and stray thoughts are really a journal. I thought they were scribbles. No, they are creative journaling. You're scribbling your thoughts down is considered creative journaling. But if you want it to just be a book of doodles, then you call it a book with doodles. If you want to call it a journal, call it a journal. I think it's back down to that. It is what you want it to be, isn't it? So these are definitely art journaling, without a doubt. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. Some of them ended up with ink from one page onto the other. But this is the big art journal. There's lots of texture in this one. This was actually kitchen roll. This is where I cleaned off my brushes on one. This is actually kitchen roll that I've stuck on, and it's got really good texture on it. I actually really like this page. But anyway, that is the big Dilutions art journal. Now, I'm expecting my daughter to come in to ask lots of questions. This is the Little Dilutions art journal. So again, there's some pages are just kind of in the process of being done. This one, I've actually swatched the different paint colors that I used to show what colors have actually been used in this particular page. So, you know, lots of different things, mostly painting in this one. There's very few, although this was one that was this was me attempting to just play with doodling. I had the Jane Davenport's, have the Jane Davenport's pens that allow you to write on acrylic paint. So I used them to draw houses, and just then went round with ink and things. So I'm just really just playing with this page. This was watercolor swatching. That I got this idea actually from James Burke. So I can't take credit for this one. This was actually James Burke that I was watching one of his videos for, and was really quite inspired. So tried to do my own. Thank you, everybody. Very much appreciated all your lovely comments and compliments. Yes, Nikki, the Willowing Arts, the Life Book is a really good course to go on, very inspiring. So this is the little journal. This is not classed as a journal. This is classed as a sketchbook. But guess what? I've used it as a journal. I've done some things that aren't, but there you go. There's a piece of art. There's some doodling. There's some messing about. There's some art journaling. There's a napkin under there with that stenciling some texture paste. So there's all sorts of, there's a video of this. There is a this is Decadent Pies watercolor. So this is just kind carol singer. Hello, Rachel. That's all right. I was just killing time till you got here. Nikki's asking, what journal do you use your pastels in? Any journal I fancy. Any journal at all, I will use pastels in. I'm pretty sure I've. Oh, that was Tweedledee and Tweedledum. This was a collaboration a couple of years ago with Mark Muir. We did a Alice in Wonderland collaboration, and this was my version of Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So yeah, as I said, any journal I want to, I will use my pastels in, because if I don't want them to smudge or to go onto the other pages, I will either put a protective film in between the pages, or I will just spray them with pastel fixative, and that stops them. That's all right, Nikki. I don't blame you. I think pastels are absolutely fantastic. I love using pastels. So that's that. Now, this one is just an ordinary notebook. Now, there was some doodle ideas, but I'm just showing you this so that you can see what the pages were like. This is just an ordinary notebook, but when you start sticking a couple of pages together, for example, and then adding paint and various other different things, you end up with a journal page. Hello, Angie. Hi there. Welcome. So is there anybody who isn't familiar with journaling who has any questions? Again, this book is a number of years old, so the artwork is not as good as my artwork now, but it was what I enjoyed at the time. This is my very first steampunk girl. And this one I actually did the shape. I actually closed my eyes and just, yes, it is my footprint. Yes. This one, it is. That is my footprint. So yes. Oh, you've got donuts. Yay! Pass out the donuts. Have I got small feet? Maybe. I'm a size 5.5 or a 6, depending on although I don't know what that is in American size right enough, but in UK I'm a 5 or a 6. So I mean, that's, yeah, I suppose it does look small, doesn't it? But no, it is my foot. So yeah, I closed my eyes and I just scribbled with my eyes closed, and then opened up and I saw a face here. So then I just coloured it in with the face. And it says, "My spirit soars when I listen to my intuition." So, you know, these are the kinds of things that you can do. It really, there is no rhyme or reason. There's no right or wrong. There's no, this was another video I did. There's one that I haven't even finished. There's another one that I haven't finished, and there's another one I haven't finished, and that's even got material on it. So for those who were in my Creative Tartanite tribe and saw the question about whether you use textiles or not, I do. There's some material, some fabric that I've stuck in a journal. So that really kind of shows you, and as you can see, this journal's not finished. I think I glued about 2 pages. Yeah, it looks like 2. I've glued 2 pages together each time I glued them together. So I just used PVA glue, glued them together, and that's what gave it a little bit more of a flexible page, and it allowed me to be able to paint and put ink and stuff without it going through. I've obviously ripped that page at some point. So that is journaling. Well, that's art journaling anyway. You can do whatever you want in your journal. You can also now here's an example of a kind of cross between journaling and scrapbooking. So I took a picture. Admittedly, it's one of my paintings, but I've taken a picture and I've glued it down, and I've used washi tape. This page is obviously not finished, but you know, I could, if I really wanted to, I could write something in here, something along the lines of that, you know, remembering when I'd actually painted it, how I felt at the time painting it, and that then gives me a little memory to look back on. There's another one in here somewhere that is a little bit more finished, if I can find it. Now, this was the collaging that we did at one of my other sessions. Oh, it's in here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. You're probably sick of seeing this book because I flick through it that often trying to find things. Ah, here we are. Here's one. This one's almost finished. I mean, it is. I could call it finished. I could call it done, but there's room to add more things. Again, I can write in it. I can add more papers if I wanted to. I can doodle. I can do all sorts. There is one other one, if I can just find it. I'm sure it's in this book, which is another example of, and there's another example of kind of collaging and scrapbooking and things, and there's even a tag, you know, so it's got pockets and things. Here's another one that I've done. Again, another one of my paintings, but this could easily be a photograph. This could easily be a photograph, and you can use whatever medium that you want. So apparently my grandson is dressing up as a pirate and put the belt on his head. Brilliant. Brilliant. Is there any questions? Would anybody like me to demonstrate anything for them? Angela's at work, so she just popped in for a minute. Hi, Angela. Welcome. Thank you for popping by, or stopping by, or popping by, whichever. Does anybody have anything that they would like me to demonstrate for them? Oh, that's one of the other things is actually to make your own journal. Yeah, I thought my daughter would be asking questions as well. I wonder if she's busy with the kids. Now, this is a journal that I made, and again, I made it years ago, so excuse the Can't think of anything at the moment. This is a variety of different papers. There is some ordinary paper. There's some proper paper that you can use alcohol inks on. I've written right side to remind me which is the right side and which is the wrong side. This is watercolor paper. This one here. This was a cheap watercolor paper. I wasn't particularly impressed with it, I have to say. There's the proper ink, the paper for the alcohol inks. Some washi tape. This was fun. It was fun going over one type of paper onto a different type of paper, because this is like a craft cardstock. So this was pencils on this side, and I think I used pencils on that side with some ink, because it's the alcohol ink paper. So, you know, that was interesting to do the two different types. Oh, Gail's thought of a question. If you have two pages painted like with acrylics facing each other in a journal, how would you protect them? Does varnish keep them from sticking to each other? Gail, I don't think varnish does stop them from sticking to each other. And the reason I think that is because varnish is acrylic in itself. It's just a protective layer to stop the actual painting getting damaged. But wax paper, oh, there's Mona put in, wax paper is particularly good for protecting pages in between. And I mean, it's like things like the stuff that you get, baking paper, you know, the non-stick baking paper. I don't think there's anything that I'm aware of that will not stop them from sticking together. If you want, like in terms of putting something on top of the page, but like parchment paper in between your papers will stop them from sticking to each other. Yes, Rachel, this live is for you. We're talking all things journaling, but it's okay. You can watch on the replay and you can learn all sorts of things. Yeah, that's probably sensible. That's probably sensible to not paint each other facing. I do, and for the most part, they'll just stick a little bit, and they don't tend to like destroy each other. But usually, right in the crease is where it starts destroying itself. It's usually in the crease that it sticks the most and will rip things up. You can see there that there's some gesso has leaked through the seam, and so it has actually stuck these two pages together and has actually resulted in it ripping a little bit. But you know, to me, my art journal is my art journal, and actually if it gets ripped, it gets ripped, and there's not really an awful lot I'm really that fussed about. So making your journal is a really good way of getting the paper in that you want to get in. As I said, this is a variety of different paper, so I had quite a bit of fun working in this. I haven't worked in this probably in a couple of years now, actually, because I ended up oh, sorry, Gail. Beth has asked a question. Why, after such beautiful papers and findings have been selected, do people gesso and paint over them so they are no longer discernible? That's a very good question. And for some people, their thought process just can't quite comprehend that. However, I think from a creative point of view, it's kind of like a bouncing board, a jumping board. So people will see things looking quite pretty, which will result in them having a thought about that, which will result in them wanting to add something on top. Um, it's really, it's down to individual preference and what inspires them. And sometimes it is just about an inspiration. It's about kicking off that thought process of what to do next. And the chances are that, people won't necessarily come up with the same ideas if they don't already have something down on the page. And if that is a pretty paper, then that's what it is. And it's about a process, essentially. Um, I think as well, sometimes people can find really pretty papers, but it's just too in your face. It's just too kind of bold, and it's not subtle enough. So they'll cover it up with things to really knock it back into the background rather than it being so kind of in the foreground. So it really it's down to personal process and personal thought process. Does that make sense? If it's something that you don't enjoy doing and don't want to do either, then that's equally as okay. Um, I'm in Mona's head again. Yes, Beth, trust the process. Um, I'm trying to think. So, like, did you guys watch the tutorial that the art Sherpa did using doing this tutorial? And she put orange at the back, and it was an absolutely stunning orange. Um, and she put the orange at the back so that in the bits that you're not putting a full coverage on, you've got that little bit of orange peeking through. So there's that little bit of orange peeking through, and it just gives that little extra bit of pop. It's something that I didn't have to do. It's, in fact, I followed along with the tutorial, so it's something that Cinnamon didn't have to do, but it added just that little extra dimension, that little extra something to the painting. Gail is saying, I can see knocking something back a bit, but to totally cover something up completely just seems like a waste to me. And that's okay. That's absolutely perfectly okay to believe that. My answering of the question is not about persuading anybody to change their mind about how they feel about it. It was just more a way to explain why other people do cover things up completely. Um, and sometimes it is just that particular paper or pretty thing or pattern or whatever it is the the thing that then triggers their thought process. And Nikki is saying that they don't often cover the paper entirely. You can often see it peeking through. It's just one of the layers. That is also true as well, Nikki. And I think sometimes as well, when we watch things on the screen, it can look as if you're not seeing it. But actually, when you look at it in real life, you can actually see that you can see the layer through it. Oh yeah, no, Gail, please don't get me wrong. When I say that, I guess I'm just explaining that so that anybody who's watching on the replay or anybody else who is listening to the conversation can understand, because not everybody necessarily knows. It was not directly directed to you, Gail. So sorry about that if that's how it came across. Yes, absolutely, Beth. The no feeling inside you is not wrong. It's you. That's how you like to create, by not covering up the pretty papers. Then that is absolutely 100% fine. In fact, fine is not the right word. It is absolutely 100% okay. It's 100% you. So Rachel is now back and she says that you have my undivided attention for now. Right, journaling. What do you want to know about journaling? That is the question of the day, Rachel. What do you want to know about journaling? This live session has been all about journaling, different types of journaling, different journals, different books. What are journals? What's not? Absolutely, Nikki. All art process is valid. Beth saying, phew, I thought I just was doing this wrong. No. If you ever want to try it, then feel the fear and do it anyway and see what happens. But pick something that isn't quite as precious, that you're not going to be so upset if you do cover it over, if it's something that you would like to try. But again, we're back to it's your choice as to whether or not you want to try it. So Rachel is saying, I have 2 journals and never managed to start a page yet. I have the craft fair tomorrow. What do I buy to start? Hoo-hoo, where do I start? So many different journals: planning journals, travel journals, art journals, gratitude journals, junk journals, and so on. What you want to be purchasing is really up to you as to what you actually want to be doing. You already have, and I know this because you're my daughter, just to explain to everybody in the internet world that Rachel is my daughter, and so I do know what she actually already owns. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with you using the stash that you already have. So you can use your scrapbooking things to be able to journal as well. So some of your typical let's go through a kind of a typical list of some of the supplies that people own. Rachel, I can't remember my own age. Let's go through a list of the supplies that typically people own to do journaling. First and foremost, people usually have pens. Now, this can come in a variety of different forms. I'll just grab some of my pens that are close by and show you. They come in all shapes, sizes, colours, etc. Hang on, I've got a couple more over here. Right, there's just a selection. Okay, and I think you've got pens. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, hello, Chrissy. Hello. You just got home, been to pick up your granddaughter. Traffic was a nightmare. Oh no. So Rachel is saying, if you don't have any Pigma Micron pens, they would be my recommendation to start. They are my most go-to pens. That's a very good tip. And funnily enough, I actually think you've got some Micron pens, Rachel. Maybe not. I could be wrong, but didn't you buy one of these when we were at the craft fair one year? Oh no. Oh, I hope everybody's okay in that accident. This is a Pigma pen. It's a Pigma Micron pen. It's got archival ink. And it comes in various different sizes. So basically the tip is big, small, or indifferent. There we go. Oh, for heaven's sake, it's not liking. Come on. There we oh no, it's not liking that. That is the Pigma pen. The other one is a Pitt Artist pen. Now this one is the brush pen, but it comes in different sizes. So again, like the Micron comes in different sizes. I don't think this is quite so waterproof though. This one is, but I don't think the Pitt pen is, unless that the last time I bought it, the last time I used it, maybe I didn't leave it to dry long enough. But it definitely did smear when I put water media. So Mona's saying yes, it is. So the Artist Pitt pen is waterproof. You need to let I see. I was too impatient. I'm too impatient. I've obviously not let it dry. Oh dear. But yeah, my go-to for waterproof is the Micron. Ordinary biros, gel pens, Sharpies, and the other pens. You mentioned them earlier on. Alcohol markers. They're more likely to bleed through, so you need to be careful with them, but it's not that you can't use them. You just need to be aware that they bleed through and be able to do whatever's necessary to either stop it from going through or to, like for example, you could put something in between so that if it does go through, it doesn't go through onto the other one as well. Again, this is another brush marker, and this is a Posca paint pen. So Posca pens are really good. They come in different sizes. This is a small one. This is white. Usually people tend to buy white and tend to buy black. The uni pens are acrylic paint pens, so they dry really well, and they're fantastic for drawing over acrylic paint. That's one of the reasons why I bought these. This is just more alcohol markers, and another type of marker to get is the water-based marker. So if you wanted to use the water-based marker and use a water brush over the top of it, you can then use them a little like watercolors. So yeah, it really is down to what you want to do and what you want to try. So you've already got the alcohol markers. So why don't you try buying, if you're wanting to do outline, if you want to outline things, then your Micron pen. If you want to like write things, then you know, it's really up to you what you want to write with. It really, there is no right and wrong to this, Rachel. That's the thing. There's no right and wrong. So these are the kinds of pens that are good to use in journaling. The other thing that is really good to use in journaling, I'll put these to the side, is you'll need to think about glue. If you want to, whoops, sorry guys, I've just knocked the camera. You want to think about the type of glue that you use. Tacky glue will not, nothing's wrong with a biro. If you want to use a biro, then use a biro. That's what I said. If you want to do like sticking down things, a kind of tacky glue round the edge of the paper is much better than, say, like you know, a kid's glue, because it's a lot wetter. And the wetter the glue, the more warped your paper is going to be. So double-sided sticky tape is a good way forward, or a tacky glue, or I'm not seeing it, but you get like little the little plastic things that have a little roller at the edge, and it's like it's an adhesive dispenser. You get little mini ones. I wish I had mine. What have I done with it? And I could have shown you. I don't know where it is. I'm not going to go hunting for it. You want to use photos and a note on it. Then think about the type of glue that you're going to use. For photos, there's nothing to stop you from printing your photos on sticky paper, which is exactly what I did for you. Those photographs, remember I printed those photographs out for you on sticker paper. You can just stick those stickers directly onto the page, or you can stick your paper onto the page. It's very like scrapbooking. You can use some of your scrapbooking tools, skills rather, to do that. So you're talking double-sided sticky tape, glue stick. Yep, glue stick is another one. Tacky glue, glue spots, glue dots, and even those, even these, you can. There's nothing to stop you from doing a three-dimensional thing. So have it lifted up off the page if you want to. Nothing to stop you from using your scrapbooking stuff. Some of the other things that you might want to consider if you want to do journaling is maybe a little watercolor palette. So something like this would be good. This is the Decadent Pies, but there are different watercolor palettes for being able to do like backgrounds and things. Trying to think what else. Yes, exactly, Nikki. That's a very good point. Just think of mixed media like scrapbooking page. Once Nikki started thinking like that, she's totally relaxed. So this is the watercolor palette. What you might consider as well is getting one of these. It's a brush. with water in the handle. So when you squeeze the barrel, water comes out, and that allows you to use your blend your water-based markers. It allows you to use your watercolors. It allows you to do all sorts of things. So Chrissy's saying that the guy that she was talking about last night made an awesome leather journal. Ah, okay. So you were amazed then. Fantastic. So you have batter brushes. I think you are you meaning water brushes, and that's a typo? Just checking in case it's the name of something. It's the so there's another water brush. It's got the water in the barrel, and it's really good for using with water-based media. So to be honest, Rachel, you probably have a lot more than you think that you have already. And yes, you have done scrapbooking. Would you like me to demonstrate a very quick and simple journal page? Oh, Chrissy, you're funny. I can show you a very quick journal page if you like. And I think what I'll maybe do is I'll just show you how easy it is to use just ordinary paper. It doesn't have to be special paper. Right. Now, I'm just going to use this journal here. Let me just grab these. I was hoping that these would weigh this down so that it didn't stick up so much, but never mind, it's fine. I wonder if I should just do this. There we go. I want one of your books you want on your Etsy page. Well, I think you need to join the queue, Rachel. There's a queue of people, they would fight you for them. Let me just try and get that. No, that didn't work either. Oh, never mind. It's just going to have to stick up. Just going to have to stick up. Right. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to use these because this is going to be very, very, very quick. I don't plan to be on here for ever and a day. And I'm totally doing this on the hop. So let's see what I can come up with. So I'm using my water brush, and I'm just going to do that. Oh, here's it's fine. I didn't think I had any of these. Urgh. Right. So that's one type of blue. And here's another type of blue. Let's try some silver. Silver's good. I like silver. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, am I even in shot? I've just realised. Oh well, never mind. Thanks for popping in though, Chrissy. Better not let your grandchildren starve. Now this is just ordinary paper. You can see it's starting to buckle a little bit, but you know, it's just an art journal. It's not anything particularly fancy. I think I might just grab some of my Winsor and Newton and just add a little bit in here. And as you can see, it's starting to mix a little, and it will reactivate because it's watercolor. Now, I'm not going to do any splashes because I'll end up with, mind you, it's watercolor, so it won't matter so much. So let me see. I'll do it this way. There we go. There's one splash. Oh dear, can't hear. No problem, Chrissy. Thank you for joining us. Take care. Bye for now. And I'm just going to right. There we go. Just splash that there. And then I'm going to let it dry while I think about what else I'm actually going to do. So I'll pop that away like so. Trying to think what have I got close by to me that I could use. Right, I know. I've got something down here. I've got these. So, okay, I'll put it to the vote. Whoops. I'll put it to the vote. Excuse me, which picture do you think I should use? So I'll leave that there for a second, and I will let you decide which picture I should use. Top, middle, or bottom row? The face. This one or this one? Either of the girls. Right, well, I've already done one of this one. I've already done there's the colours on the page. Bottom row. Right. I will cut this out. Right, this is there we go. Now, a little trick, if you're not able to get cutting right up to the edge like I am, I can still see some white there. Oops. I can still see some white, so I'm going to take, now you've even got inks and things, Rachel, so you could be doing something like this. And that is to ink around the edges. Now I can see Mona's going, no, one of the flowers. But I'm going to use the, right, I need to get, oh no, my ink is, I think I took my ink back downstairs. So I will just have to make do with what's left on here, even though there's not an awful lot. So I'm inking the edge, because what that will do is it will get rid of the white banding, and it will also tie in this picture with what's on here. So in true scrapbooking tradition, I'm going to find some scrapbook paper. That's going to fit. That does fit, but it's not quite what I'm. Ooh. Ooh, wonder if this is. Aha. I've also got some. Oh, washi tape. Washi tape might be good for you to get at the craft fair tomorrow. Right. Okay. Decided I'm going to use this. So hopefully I can do this straight enough. What else have I got kicking about? Ooh. 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 Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Right. And this, I'm actually just going to. Oh. I'm actually going to rip it. Oh, I maybe should have ripped it a bit. last. I should have ripped it here at the edge first. Okay. Oh, now, oh, here it's here. Right, one last thing to try. No. Right, I'm going to glue this down. Where is my glue gone? Right. Sorry, I'm concentrating. See, this is what it's really like to be able to create, because it's about, whoops, it's about just thinking as you go. It really is about just watercolor on the back of my hand. It really is about just thinking on your feet. Just keep going. There we go. And just add whatever takes your fancy. And yes, it's starting to buckle, but you know, once it's dry and once it's closed and stays closed for a while, it'll be absolutely fine. So now I'm just trying to figure out where I actually want it. I think I'm going to put it there. Oh, I'm determined to get glue all over my fingers. So there we go. There's that. So that's kind of giving you an idea of how to kind of use the watercolor with an image. So you could have any type of photograph like that. Any type of photograph like that at all or whatsoever. Now, I know I had my pens, so where did I put my pens? Oh, I put them on the desk. Right, so, nope. I don't know that I've got any washi tape that's actually going to actually go. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. That might go. Oh, that's so. I'm back. Ah, yay! Yay! Thank you, YouTube. Oh no. Back again. So you can see me again. Oh, that was a bit hairy. You see me typing. Yay! So where did I get to when it all went wrong? What was I doing? So I've just stuck this bit down here. And I was just going to grab my micron pen. And I was going to, no, I wasn't going to do my micron pen. I was actually thinking about my Posca pen, but that's not the Posca pen I was looking for. This was the Posca pen I was looking for. But now I'm thinking, oh, will I or won't I? Maybe I will use my micron pen instead. I don't know. I don't know. I probably should have done this before I stuck the sticky. Just thought I might do some fancy bits, some doodling. It's not something I tend to do much of as doodling because I don't think I'm very good at it. Because I don't have a particularly steady hand when it comes to doing things like this. But that turned out not too bad. Now, I know I had my white Posca pen. Where did I put the white Posca pen? Come on, guys, tell me, where did I put it? I haven't, oh, here we are. I haven't moved from this spot. I've gone again. Oh. Oh, so, are you still getting to see me? I'm just doing some Posca dots. I did actually go in with the intention of doing 3 round there, but thinking it might kind of look a little bit like lace if I did 3, but oh, maybe that's what I should have done. It's not going to show up on that one. But I'll put it on anyway. There we go. And then I think I will do that. There we go. And then all I need to do is write whatever I fancy in here. So it can be a quote, it can be a poem, it can be anything. So I think I need to quit while they're going good, because if you can still see me, I think that's probably a good time to stop. So as I said, it's a very quick, really very simple idea of being able to produce a very simple page. It's a little bit of watercolor just to get some color on the background, and I'm going to write a lot of gobbledygook, but just so that you can see, just very quickly, I'm going to write a little bit just so that you can see what it's actually going to look like. So this page is a demo on my Friday Fun Live session. We all had fun and a few laughs. Even though YouTube decided to buffer me. Well, I'm buffering right back. Ha ha. Sparkles tea. There you go. So there you go. That is what the writing looks like on the page. My writing is atrocious, but it just gives you a look as to what you can actually do very quickly with very little supplies. That was one pen, sorry, 2 pens, the Posca pen and the Micron, some watercolor and some scrapbook paper with some washi tape. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Everybody close your eyes. I'm just going to quickly put the camera back up on here, because I always feel that it's more polite to be able to face to face to say thank you very much for joining me this evening. I hope you have enjoyed it, and in this evening, it's almost evening for me. It's morning for the States, so it's the afternoon. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope the buffering hasn't completely spoiled the fun that we had. I really appreciate it. And Rachel, I hope this has helped you in some way to be able to understand a little bit more about what art, what journaling is, because journaling is what you make it to be. Gail's saying she has terrible handwriting as well. It's dinner time here. Yes, it's getting on to dinner time here as well. So I've been on for an hour and 43 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Gail, Angie, and everybody else who has been in as well. And thank you, Mona, for being an awesome moderator as always. So take care, everybody. I need to hunt for my mouse now. Bye.